Three, two, one, you're on.
Good morning, and welcome to the special live stream feed from the Chequamegon Veterans Center. My name is Jason Jancic, and I'm the post commander for VFW Post 690. And I'm here today to talk about our special fundraiser that's coming up this month and next month, and what we're raising money for. We're raising money for the UW MAA Recovery and Identification Project. Program that is very dear to many veterans. And we're here today. I just want to share a little bit about that project. The University of Wisconsin-Madison has has a program called the MAA Recovery and Identification Project. It was formed in 2015, and it partners with the Department of Defense POW MAA accounting agency. It is staffed by volunteers from many disciplines, faculty, students, veterans, and its task is to research, identify, locate, and return our missing in action soldiers and service members home to their families. There are currently 82,000 service members still unaccounted for from our wars in the 20th century, the vast majority from World War II. 1,500 of which are from Wisconsin specifically. And this dedicated group of volunteers devotes themselves to finding those service members and bringing them home. But they do it without any government support, very limited government support. They get physical spaces from the University of Wisconsin, but they don't get funding from the state of Wisconsin, and they don't get funding from the federal government. So they're totally donation based. So that's why we at VFW Post 690 have decided to dedicate our fundraisers this summer to them. A little bit about the MIA project. The MIA Recovery and Identification Project at UW-Madison was formed in 2015. It was the first academic institution to partner with the Department of Defense. Since then, they've had 3 recoveries, all from Europe, all World War II service members. And on each of those field trips, they recovered a service member and returned them to their families. COVID set them back. They haven't been in the field since 2019. This summer, currently as we speak, they have a team in Belgium working on the site. And hopefully we're going to be bringing home a 4th service member, bringing some closure to their family. And it's like I said, they're totally fundraiser based. So all their money comes from donations from people like you or me. So that's why we're doing that. As a veteran, MIA recovery is very near and dear to my heart. Because I remember when I went overseas, as a soldier, you always knew that there was a chance that you would die. That's just the fact of life for being a soldier. But always in the back of my head was the thought that some way, shape, or form, I was going to come home. And that's what we're trying to do for these 80,000 that are still unaccounted for. To talk a little bit about the impact of MIA recovery, we have a local Ashland resident here, and we're going to talk to her because her family has a very, close relationship with MIA recovery. I'm sitting here with Harriet Yasinich, who is the sister of Edward Morrison, who I have pictured behind us right here. Edward Morrison, or Buster as he was known, was an Ashland resident who had joined the U.S. Army, and he was one of the first casualties in the Korean War, being killed on July 6th of 1950. But his body was never recovered or identified, or his body was never identified. But to talk a little bit about him, let's turn to Harriet. Good morning, Harriet.
Good morning.
I really appreciate you coming in, spending time with us today.
Okay.
Tell me some of your earliest memories, or tell me some of your memories of your brother and when he left to join the Army.
Well, I remember him leaving. My mother, was very upset, and Dad, and then the next thing I knew, my mother and Dad went to California. We have a sister and brother out there for their 25th wedding anniversary. And in the meantime, my other sister and I were at the house, and my other brother was taking care of us. And there was a knock on the door. And so I went to the door, and here's an army man, two of them standing there. And can we talk? Well, I said my mother and dad are gone. So I took my brother down, and they explained to him, I didn't stand there, but they said that our brother was missing in action. That's all they said. They didn't say he was dead or just missing in action. Well, my brother Roy, which he was very close to him, he just went in his room and we didn't see him the rest of the day. He felt so bad. And we had to call my mother and dad, and then they drove straight across the United States to get home. And that was very sad, And from then on, my dad just kept trying and trying to find out what happened for years. And he sent letters to the Konski and to the president and everything, and they never found out anything until 2019. Yeah, the government called us and said that they had found him over in Hawaii. What is that, the bowl or something?
The punch bowl, the cemetery there.
Yeah, the cemetery, and then they brought him home. We went to Minneapolis, and they came in by airplane, government one, and brought him and then we had a burial here. Very nice. The vets and that did it for us. And so we got him home in his town, which was very, we were very sad because my mother and dad, that's how I ever heard while we were growing up. Not all the time, but my mother was, so that's kind of how it ended now, and he's out here at the Veteran Cemetery. He did come home.
Oh, that was 69 years that your brother was missing and not accounted for. Do you remember how he got from Korea to Hawaii, the story there?
Well, what they had said, he went in right after high school, and they really didn't train the men because they needed them.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they had told me. And so they put him out without a lot of training. And then he was fighting over there, and they said he foxhole, I guess, and he put his head up to see where they were, and then the Koreans shot him in the head, and his buddy tried to get him, and he couldn't. And then after the Koreans left and that, there was a farmer there, and he went down and he buried him. And then he let the government know.
You were saying earlier when we were talking that your family actually went to Hawaii because his name was on the list of missing, without ever realizing that your brother was buried on that island. That he had, after the Korean War, remains were returned to the United States, returned to Hawaii, but they were unidentified. So,
yeah.
What year was that you went to Hawaii? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
My other brothers and sisters and nephews, they've all, the ones lived in California, they had gone over there and went and saw where his name was posted.
Mm-hmm. And there's how many siblings did he were alive when he came home, when he returned home?
Let's see, one had passed away. There was 9. 7.
Okay, so that was a pretty impactful summer for your family. I remember it myself too. I had never known him. Obviously, I was much too young to know him, but we had his picture in our post for years. I've always seen his face, so not even knowing him, I was overcome with emotion when that news finally came out that he had been identified and was returning home.
Oh yeah.
So we really appreciate you definitely coming down and talking about your brother and sharing the impact that these MIA recovery programs can have on local families, because that had to bring a tremendous amount of just closure, finality for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Actually having a grave to go to now. again, I thank you for coming in very much. We really
Okay.
appreciate hearing your story.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope you folks out there that are watching appreciated hearing her story and the impact it had on not just the local family, but also the entire local community.
Oh,
Because the community, I mean, I remember when he came into town, there was people on every sidewalk as he came into town. It was very impressive to see. But if you'd like to support programs like this, this Saturday from 10 to 3, the 16th of July, VFW Post 690 in conjunction with American Legion Post 90, we're having a brat fry fundraiser down in the parking lot of Taste of Wisconsin, which is right on the corner of Vaughn Avenue and US Highway 2. So come on down between 10 and 3, buy a brat, leave a donation. 100% of the proceeds that we get that day are going to the University of Wisconsin Missing in Action Recovery and Identification Project to help them continue their mission of bringing service members home and bringing closure to families. Hopefully we can make an impact into that 82,000 families that are still waiting for an answer. If you can't make this Saturday, we are still going to have another one, September 3rd, Labor Day weekend, same location, Taste of Wisconsin. So if you're around Labor Day weekend, look us up. We'll have signs on the highway. Once this live feed is complete, I'm going to put the website for this program into the comments. So you can go there yourself, follow their Facebook page, go to their website, and see about how donating on your own as well. So thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate that. And again, thank you very much. I really appreciate hearing your story and helping us get the word out for this. So thank you very much, and we hope to see some of you at our brat fry this coming Saturday. Have a good day.